Imagine walking into a room full of successful people, entrepreneurs, leaders, executives, creators. They're discussing ideas, sharing opinions, influencing decisions. And then someone asks for your thoughts. For a split second, your mind goes blank. You know you're intelligent. You know you have ideas. You know you could add value to the conversation. But when the moment arrives, the words don't come out the way you want them to. Maybe you speak too fast. Maybe your thoughts feel scattered. Maybe the sentence sounds awkward halfway through. And suddenly, the confidence you had inside disappears. Not because you lack intelligence, but because you struggle to express what's already in your mind. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine opening your mouth and your thoughts flow smoothly. Your words are clear. Your ideas are structured. Your voice is calm and confident. People listen when you speak, not because you're the loudest person in the room, but because your words carry clarity, power, and intention. This is the power of articulation. Articulation is not about using complicated vocabulary. It's not about sounding like a professor. And it's definitely not about pretending to be someone you're not. Articulation is about expressing your thoughts clearly, confidently, and effectively so people understand you, respect you, and remember what you say. And the truth is this. The most successful communicators in the world weren't born articulate. They trained themselves. They practiced. They learned a few simple mental habits that transformed the way they speak. Today, you're going to learn those habits. Because becoming articulate is not about talent. It's about awareness. It's about slowing down your thinking. It's about learning how to organize ideas before they leave your mouth. And once you learn these principles, everything changes. Your conversations improve. Your confidence grows. Your presence becomes stronger. And people begin to see you differently. They begin to see you as someone who knows what they're talking about. Someone who thinks clearly. Someone worth listening to. Let's begin with the first truth most people never realize about confident speakers. The most articulate people in the world are not fast talkers. They are slow thinkers. Think about the most powerful speakers you've ever heard. They don't rush. They pause. They breathe. They choose their words carefully. Every sentence feels intentional. That's because articulation begins before you even speak. Most people speak while they're still thinking. Their brain is searching for words while their mouth is already moving. This creates hesitation, filler words, and confusion. You hear things like, like, you know. So basically, these filler words are not a sign of low intelligence. They are simply a sign that the brain is trying to catch up with the mouth. Articulate people solve this problem with one simple habit. They pause. They give their brain one extra second before speaking. That 1 second changes everything. Instead of reacting instantly, they organize the idea first. They mentally ask themselves a simple question. What is the point I want to make? Once the point is clear, the sentence becomes easy. This tiny pause creates clarity. And clarity creates confidence. When you begin practicing this habit, you'll notice something interesting. People will start paying more attention to your words. Because pauses signal confidence. When someone rushes their speech, it often feels nervous. But when someone speaks calmly, deliberately, and clearly, people instinctively respect them. Now here's the second principle of articulate communication. Clear thinking creates clear speaking. If your thoughts are messy, your words will be messy. If your thoughts are structured, your speech will feel structured. This is why great communicators organize their ideas in simple mental frameworks. One of the most powerful frameworks is incredibly simple. Point. Explanation. Example. Instead of talking in random directions, articulate speakers follow this pattern naturally. They make a clear point. Then they explain it. Then they give an example. Let's see how powerful this becomes. Imagine someone asks you, how do you stay productive? Most people might answer like this. Well, I try to stay focused and I plan my day, and I also try not to procrastinate, and I think discipline is important. The answer feels scattered. Now listen to the same idea structured clearly. I stay productive by planning my day the night before. That way I wake up already knowing my priorities. For example, every evening I write down the 3 most important tasks I must complete the next day. Same intelligence, same idea, but the second version sounds confident and articulate because the structure guides the listener. Point. Explanation. Example. When you start using this pattern, your communication instantly improves. Now let's talk about something that secretly destroys clarity for many people. Overcomplicating language. Many people believe sounding intelligent means using big words. But the opposite is true. The most powerful communicators use simple language. Because simplicity is powerful. If your audience has to work hard to understand you, they stop listening. But when your words are clear and direct, people stay engaged. This is why many great leaders speak in surprisingly simple sentences. Short sentences, clear ideas, strong points. Instead of saying, utilizing strategic methodologies can facilitate improved outcomes. An articulate speaker would simply say, using better strategies leads to better results. Same meaning, but far more powerful. Clarity beats complexity every time. Now here's another secret of confident speakers. They control their pace. Most people speak faster when they feel nervous. But speed reduces clarity. Your listener needs time to process what you say. If you rush your words, the message gets lost. Articulate speakers slow down slightly. Not painfully slow, just controlled, measured, deliberate. When you slow your pace, 3 powerful things happen. Your brain has more time to think, your voice sounds calmer, and your words become easier to understand. This single change can transform the way people perceive you. Now let's talk about confidence. Because articulation and confidence are deeply connected. Many people believe confidence comes before speaking, but often the opposite is true. Confidence grows after you start expressing yourself clearly. When you hear your own voice communicating ideas effectively, your brain begins to trust you. That trust builds confidence. So instead of waiting to feel confident before speaking, focus on speaking clearly. Confidence will follow. Another habit that dramatically improves articulation is reading out loud. This simple exercise trains your brain to organize language more smoothly. When you read aloud for even 10 minutes a day, several things happen. Your vocabulary expands. Your sentence rhythm improves. Your pronunciation becomes clearer. And your brain becomes more comfortable forming structured sentences. Professional speakers, actors, and broadcasters use this technique constantly. Because articulation is partly a physical skill, your mouth, tongue, and breathing all play a role in clear speech. Practice strengthens these muscles, and stronger speech muscles create smoother communication. Now let's explore something even deeper. Your internal dialogue. The way you speak to yourself internally influences how you speak externally. If your thoughts are chaotic, negative, or rushed, your speech will reflect that energy. But when your thoughts become calm and organized, your speech becomes calm and organized too. This is why many confident speakers practice reflection. They take time to think, to write, to clarify ideas privately before expressing them publicly. Writing is one of the fastest ways to become more articulate, because writing forces you to organize thoughts. You must choose words carefully. You must structure ideas logically, and those skills naturally transfer into speaking. Now here's another powerful mindset shift. Articulate speakers focus on the listener, not themselves. Many people become nervous speaking because they're thinking about how they appear. Do I sound smart? Do I look confident? What if I say something wrong? But great communicators shift their focus outward. Instead, they think, how can I explain this clearly? How can I make this useful for the listener? How can I simplify this idea? This shift removes pressure. Because your goal is no longer perfection. Your goal becomes clarity. And clarity builds connection. People don't expect perfect speech. They simply want to understand you. Now let's talk about one final habit that separates average speakers from powerful communicators. Silence. Most people are afraid of silence. They feel the need to fill every gap with words. But articulate speakers understand something powerful. Silence gives weight to your words. When you pause after an important sentence, your listener has time to absorb it. The message becomes stronger, memorable, impactful. Silence is not weakness. It's control. And once you begin using pauses intentionally, your speech will immediately feel more confident and authoritative. Right now, you might be realizing something important. Becoming articulate is not about changing who you are. It's about refining how you express what's already inside you. Your ideas already matter. Your thoughts already have value. You simply need the tools to express them clearly. And as you practice these habits, pausing before speaking, organizing ideas, simplifying language, controlling pace, and focusing on the listener, you'll notice a transformation. Conversations will become easier. Your confidence will rise. People will start asking for your opinion more often, because clear communicators stand out in a noisy world. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Until one day you realize something amazing. You're no longer struggling to find the right words. The right words find you. And when that happens, your voice becomes one of your greatest strengths. Right now, take a moment and think about the last conversation you had today. Did you express your thoughts the way you wanted? Or did you walk away thinking, I wish I had said that differently? Most people experience that feeling every single day, not because they lack intelligence, but because they never trained the skill of clear communication. The truth is simple. The world rewards people who can express ideas clearly. The person who communicates the idea often gets the opportunity, not always the person who had the idea first. That's why articulation is not just a communication skill. It's a life skill. It affects your career, your leadership, your relationships, your confidence. And the good news is this. Articulation is a skill you can train. Just like going to the gym strengthens your body, practicing these principles strengthens your voice, your thinking, and your presence. Every conversation becomes a training ground. Every discussion becomes practice. And every time you pause, organize your thoughts, and speak with clarity, you are building a new level of confidence. So here's a simple challenge for you. Today, in your next conversation, slow down. Before you respond, pause for just 1 second. Ask yourself one question. What is the main point I want to say? Then say it clearly. One idea, one sentence, one example. Do this consistently, and you'll notice something powerful happening. People will start listening differently. They will respect your words more. Because clarity creates authority, and authority creates influence. If this lesson helped you see communication in a new way, make sure you continue this journey with us. Because this is just the beginning. There are deeper strategies that can completely transform the way you think, speak, and present your ideas to the world. So if you want to become more confident, more articulate, and more powerful with your words, subscribe to the channel and join thousands of people who are upgrading their mindset every single day. This is the motivational audiobook spot, where ideas become action and knowledge becomes power. And if you're ready to take the next step in mastering confident communication, click the next video on your screen right now. Because the next lesson will show you something even more powerful. How to structure your thoughts instantly so you never run out of words in any conversation. Don't miss it. I'll see you in the next lesson. Think about the people who command attention the moment they start speaking. Not because they shout, not because they dominate the conversation, but because every sentence they deliver feels clear, deliberate, and meaningful. Their words land. Their ideas stick. And when they speak, people lean in instead of tuning out. This level of communication is not magic. It's the result of a simple mental discipline, organized thinking. Most communication problems do not start with the mouth. They start in the mind. When thoughts are scattered, speech becomes scattered. When thoughts are structured, speech becomes powerful. That means the fastest way to become more articulate is not memorizing fancy vocabulary. It's training your brain to organize ideas quickly. And one of the most powerful techniques used by great communicators is something incredibly simple. They think in frameworks. Instead of trying to invent sentences while talking, they mentally arrange ideas into small structures. One of the most effective structures is the rule of 3. Human brains love the number 3. 3 ideas are easy to remember. 3 ideas feel complete. 3 ideas sound confident. You hear this pattern everywhere in powerful communication. Great speakers use it constantly. For example, if you want to become more articulate, focus on 3 habits: clarity, structure, and confidence. Simple, clean, memorable. Instead of talking endlessly, articulate speakers compress their ideas into strong, organized points. The listener instantly understands the message. Now imagine you're explaining why communication skills matter. Instead of rambling, you could say something like this. Communication shapes 3 areas of your life: your career, your relationships, and your leadership. Immediately your message feels organized. Powerful speakers don't just speak. They guide the listener's mind. And structure is the map. Another powerful technique that articulate people use is visualization. Before they speak, they imagine the idea like a picture. If you can picture the concept clearly in your mind, it becomes easier to explain. Think about teaching someone how to ride a bicycle. You wouldn't start with complicated language. You'd describe the process in simple visual steps. Balance, pedal, steer. The clearer the mental image, the clearer the explanation becomes. This is why, if you want to sound more articulate, start adding small stories to your explanations. Not long, complicated stories. Just simple real-life examples. Imagine you're explaining why preparation improves confidence. You could say something like this. Think about a pilot preparing for a flight. They don't just sit down and hope everything goes well. They follow a checklist. They review the route. They prepare for possible problems. That preparation is what creates calm confidence in the air. Suddenly the message becomes vivid, memorable, powerful, because people remember stories far more than abstract explanations. Now let's talk about something that silently destroys articulation for many people. Fear of judgment. The fear of saying something wrong. The fear of sounding stupid. The fear of being misunderstood. This fear causes hesitation, and hesitation disrupts clarity. But here's the truth most confident speakers understand. No one communicates perfectly. Even the best speakers occasionally stumble over words. The difference is they keep moving forward. They don't panic. They don't apologize constantly. They simply correct themselves and continue. Confidence in communication is not about perfection. It's about momentum. If you stumble over a sentence, don't freeze. Just continue the thought. Your listener cares far more about the idea than the tiny mistake. And ironically, when you stop worrying about sounding perfect, your speech becomes smoother naturally. Another secret of articulate communication is curiosity. Great communicators are excellent listeners. They don't just wait for their turn to speak. They actively listen to understand. Because listening gives you valuable information. It tells you what the other person cares about. It reveals what they already understand. It shows where confusion might exist. When you listen carefully, you can tailor your explanation more clearly. That makes your communication far more effective. Articulate speakers treat conversations like collaboration, not competition. They build on ideas. They ask thoughtful questions. And this creates deeper, more meaningful dialogue. Another powerful habit that improves articulation dramatically is recording yourself speaking. This might feel uncomfortable at first, but it is one of the fastest ways to improve your communication skills. When you listen to yourself objectively, you begin noticing patterns. You might notice you speak too quickly. You might notice repeated filler words. You might notice unclear sentences. Once you become aware of these patterns, improvement becomes easier. Many professional speakers review recordings of their talks for exactly this reason. Self-awareness accelerates growth. Now let's talk about vocabulary. Yes, vocabulary does matter, but not in the way most people think. You don't need thousands of complex words. You need the right words. Precise words. The goal is not sounding impressive. The goal is expressing ideas accurately. For example, instead of saying something was really good, you might say it was effective, impactful, or valuable. Precise language sharpens your message. But remember this rule. Clarity always comes before complexity. Simple words used well are far more powerful than complicated words used poorly. Another technique used by confident communicators is emphasis. They highlight important words. They slightly slow down during key sentences. They allow certain ideas to breathe. This subtle control of tone and pace makes speech more engaging. Monotone speech feels flat, but dynamic speech feels alive. You can practice this by reading powerful speeches out loud. Notice where the speaker slows down. Notice where the voice becomes stronger. Notice the rhythm. Communication is not only about words. It's also about delivery. Your voice carries energy, and energy carries influence. Now here's something extremely important. Your belief about your voice matters. Many people secretly believe they are not good speakers, and that belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But communication is a skill, not a personality trait, not a talent you're born with. A skill, and skills improve with repetition. The more conversations you engage in consciously, the more articulate you become. The more you practice organizing ideas, the clearer your speech becomes. The more you slow down and pause intentionally, the stronger your presence becomes. Confidence grows through experience, not avoidance. That means every conversation today is an opportunity, because clear communication is the bridge between your mind and the world. Without that bridge, great ideas remain trapped inside. But with that bridge, your voice becomes a powerful tool for impact. Now, before we continue to the next lesson, remember this. The goal is not speaking more. The goal is speaking with intention. Every clear sentence builds credibility. Every structured idea builds authority. Every confident pause builds presence. If today's lesson opened your mind to the power of articulate communication, make sure you stay with us for the next step. Because in the next part, you're going to learn advanced techniques used by powerful communicators to think faster, respond smarter, and speak clearly even under pressure. So if you're serious about upgrading your communication, your confidence, and your influence, subscribe to the channel and join a growing community of people committed to mastering their mindset and their voice. This is the motivational audiobook spot, where powerful ideas turn into powerful action. And if you're ready to unlock the next level of confident speaking, click the next video on your screen right now. Because the next lesson will reveal a powerful mental technique that allows you to organize your thoughts instantly in any conversation. Don't miss it.